Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Illusions of Itehari, continuing Tobari's route. We're with Yashiro. We're gonna hope this works this time. This is like the third time I've tried to record it. I swear to God, I hate this recording software so fucking much. I know one of these days I'm gonna get off my fucking ass and download something new, okay? One of these days I'm gonna do it because I'm about ready to throw shit. I'm tired of fighting for 10 minutes to get the stupid thing to fucking open and pick up my capture card. And then when it fucking finally did and I go, okay, choose a sound thing and go to record, it crashes my computer and it's like, okay. And then I get the sound on and I'm like, okay, oh, but there's no sound here, but it's okay. I think it's fine. And then I do 2 lines, music starts up and it's janky. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking shitting me. I can't handle this garbage anymore because I don't think it's my capture card or my fucking computer. If it's my computer, then I'm really fucking annoyed that I wasted this much money on something where the USB ports are useless as fuck. I kind of want to see if I can find a cord for my 300-euro capture card that will plug into an HDMI instead of a USB. I'm pretty sure I have an HDMI somewhere. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to see. Or like a converter or something to plug it in and see if that will work better because I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I want to throw everything across the room because it should not be this much of a pain in the ass to do this. And the music should not be janky all the damn time. And I don't necessarily blame my computer for that. I blame this fucking recording software. But it could be. Could be my computer for all I know. Because you know what? Whatever. You cost a lot of money. You shouldn't be this much of a douche. But I'm more apt to blaming the recording software. But anyway.
They got me. I may not be used to fighting while also protecting someone else, but this was a fatal blunder on my part. A mysterious man's underlings kept me busy for a while and fled when they saw an opening. Not only were the streets of the Abyss complicated, but they also limited my field of vision. As an outsider, it didn't take long for me to completely lose sight of them. They were too good. They were targeting her from the start. I decided to give up the chase. I turned on my heels and immediately headed toward my next destination.
Thanks, Yashiro? I mean, he's like, fuck it. Maybe you should find... I hope the next destination is finding Tobari, you know what I mean? When I came to, I was lying on the ground. I could barely move. I was probably bound by rope, which gave a sense of déjà vu. To think I'd have this experience twice in such a short time period. Finally up, Missy. Hey, Brahim. Yeah, dude with the mask. Okay, it's not really an eye patch. It's like half a mask, so. For better or for worse, the attacker was someone I could converse with, unlike the berserker. A slightly different form of fear from what I felt during the berserker case slowly took shape. Did you attack us because we're from Itehari?
Yeah, something like that. You couldn't possibly think you were hiding it looking like that.
I just wanted to know. It's not like I was really trying to hide that fact anyway. Someone who's familiar with the Abyss told me that it wouldn't matter if people found out.
Ha! Poor girl. You were obviously tricked by some scumbag. Seems like you really fell for it. If someone like you were to strut around acting like you own the place, you're practically asking to be attacked and sold off.
Sounds unfun. The man scoffed, to which I responded, sold off where? I wasn't tricked. Yeah, I sold off where? Sold off where? But wait. Okay. Priorities. First of all, sold off where? But, you know, priorities being, I wasn't tricked. Like, how dare you talk about Tobari like that? Our priority is making sure he knows Tobari would never. Okay? Tobari would never trick me. And now that we're done and we admit that's clear, sold off where? So first things first, I wasn't tricked. Yeah. I know. I don't think I've been tricked at all.
Huh?
You don't know anything about him. It's true that he had a frightening air about him. I don't think he's the type who'd trick people or stab anyone in the back. He wouldn't hurt people without reason.
Don't bother acting tough. You're just refusing to believe that you were fooled, that's all.
There was definitely a possibility that I was tricked, but I don't care if you think less of me for believing in Tabari. But you of all people have no right to call him a scumbag. Even if he had tricked me, I was confident that he had his reasons for doing so.
He sure got you good.
Oh, we're flashing back on our moments with him. Well, that moment with our hairpin. I couldn't deny that.
Anyway, you're a prized piece of merchandise. We won't hurt you as long as you behave.
So don't behave, because I'd rather be dead than sold off like cattle. Aye.
Don't expect anyone to come save you. Anyone who dares sneak into the Oberos gang's stronghold will never make it out alive.
The Obero gang. So this must be Obero? I studied the man with the artificial hand as the underlings made their brief commentary.
While your friends are out searching for anything they can get on us, we'll be long gone.
The door was suddenly kicked down with a violent noise. Almost immediately, what fluttered into my vision was Tabari. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, my little heart. He's like, no one will find you here. And the next thing you know, Tabari's busting down the door all hot and sexy. And you're like, damn right, he's going to come save my ass. You're like, this guy tied me up, but Tabari can tie me up, tie me down, and do whatever he wants. Like, yeah. I'm a simple woman, and this just makes me giggle, like, with joy. Or like, I mean, I knew he was going to come rescue us. I just didn't expect it this soon. And him coming in this instantaneously is like, get fucked, don't touch my woman. Yay. Listen, whatever complaints we could have about this game at the end of it, you know, we're like, the plot line's a little confusing, this world's fucked up. The boys are just phenomenal, okay? So, never gonna hate on them. You know, like, and she's like, look at this man. Oh, God. And the art. Oh, these men are gorgeous. A familiar, vibrantly red Haori. I'm like, hey, I was gonna say Haori. Haori. Wow. Oh.
Who are you?
Obero's henchmen were in the midst of scrambling back to their feet as gunshots rang throughout the room. Tabari snarled in response, making no effort to conceal his fury. Ooh, that's even hotter.
Shut it. You all right, milady?
Yes? Yashiro was right on Tabari's tail and helped him divert the men who had begun to draw closer. I mean, like, okay. And then Yashiro's here too, so that's exciting. You're like, okay, cool, thanks. Tabari still got me all in a tither. Okay? And, like, that's, like, 98% of me being worked up. But, like, I'll give a little bit for Yashiro, and probably Suyakusu's probably going to bust in here, too, and, like, that's still hot. Like, yay. Look at our man harem. This is so great. He's just himself. Just runs in like, they got out of hand. Spacey, thank goodness. Suyakusa came up to me amid the fighting and used a small knife to cut the rope that bound me. Thanks, Suyakusa.
Hey, what are you doing?
Shut up. Ah! Suyakusa mercilessly knocked out our assailant with his hammer. It's got a hammer. Ouch, that must have hurt. It really does. I was like, I didn't even know it because I saw his pose, and I'm like, that's his fighting pose? Didn't even, like, dawn on me that he was holding a hammer over his shoulder, but that's so funny. Like, okay, everybody else is like, fighting pose, and he's just like, chill. Like, his fighting pose is so, like, chill. I mean, the intensity's in his face, but his body language is just so chill with a hammer. It's pretty funny, actually. Spacey, can you stand? Do you think you can run? I think so. I should be fine. Be like, actually, I want Tabari to carry me. I don't even care if it's bridal style. I'll ride him piggyback. I don't give a shit. I hurriedly got to my feet and moved my hands and legs around, making sure I was fully able to move before nodding.
Then let's go, and the others will catch up to us soon.
Suyakusa grabbed my hand and ran. Obaro's underlings attempted to follow after us, but were stopped by Tobari's rapid gunfire and the moving flashes of Yashiro's blade.
Damn it! You gotta be kidding me!
Suyakusa and I leapt out of the Oboro gang's hideout and didn't drop our pace as we wove through the alleys of the abyss. I can't believe they got to us that fast! Does Tobari know this guy?
We'd seize the enemy's stronghold in an instant, and as soon as we rescued Milady, we would make her escape. That was all there was to the plan. We don't have the leeway to plan anything beyond that. Whether or not our surprise attack works depends entirely on our skills. Most would instinctively hesitate to use violence if they aren't used to it. I was worried about how they'd perform in this situation, but Yashiro showed no signs of faltering as he fought, and unsurprisingly for Suyakusa, he showed no restraint when it came to Milady. Yashiro, I'll bring up the rear, so go first.
I'll take you up on that. Thanks, Tobari.
What? Yashiro tripped the man in front of him and used the opening he created to dash outside. Their numbers dwindled drastically, making my job much easier. I waited until I couldn't see him anymore and figured it was time I made my escape too, when... Wait! A sharp, deliberate voice called out to me, making me stop in my tracks.
They know each other?
Why didn't you kill me? Are you Oboro? The Oboro gang was a band of thieves with a pretty large turf down in the abyss. I'd also heard that their leader wore an Oni mask.
Okay, so they don't know each other. For a hot second, I was like, do they know each other? He's just heard of him. Okay. So you think Oboro has something to do with, like, maybe the big fire that was set or whatever? I don't know, you know? Because, like, now he's a new character and he can't just be here just to kidnap and sell me off.
I just didn't have the guts to kill, that's all. I see right through your lies. You could have done it if you wanted. Would have been easier than letting me live, too. If I just mindlessly killed the leader of a group like yours, one of your lackeys would have my head. I'd rather not deal with anyone taking their vengeance out on me. You smeared mud all over our name. You let me go and I'll come kill you instead. That what you want? Do you actually want me to kill you? A part of me felt bad about not granting his wish. We successfully retrieved our noblewoman. You're more than happy with this outcome. Or we're more than happy with this outcome. That's why we're letting you off easy. I won't bother with any of that pay with your life crap. Sometimes you need to put someone else down in order to get by in the abyss, after all.
Sometimes you need to put someone else down in order to get by in the abyss, after all. Well,
I understood his confusion. If you lose, you die. That was what life here was like. It'd sure be nice if one day I could live as an upstanding person without having to hurt anyone. Words I didn't mean for him to hear spilled forth, and Oboro scoffed. Ha! It's nothing but a pipe dream. I'm still young. You wouldn't fault me for talking about my dreams, would you? If it's revenge you want, then I accept your challenge. Just come up to the entertainment district and ask for Tobari. This discussion was over. After saying my piece, I left the Oboro gang's hideout without looking back.
now we're back to me. Interesting. We all safely made it back to Dr. Shohaku's clinic. Thankfully, no one seemed to have sustained any serious injuries. As for me...
They hurt you pretty badly, young lady. Your internal organs seem to be fine from what I can see, but it'll take some time for the bruises to heal, that's for sure. If you experience any other pain, let me know right away, and be sure to get it checked when you return home, too.
I don't remember his voice from the... Look, Liz, his voice can be different every part. Okay, guys? Thank you, doctor, but I think I'll be fine. It actually doesn't hurt that much.
You can't honestly mean that.
I do. I've always been quick to heal. The pain nearly brought me to tears when I got hit, but it was definitely at a tolerable level now.
You may be the type with a high pain tolerance, People like that tend to overlook any signs that their wounds are getting worse. Watch out for any vomiting, stomach pains, abdominal swelling, and bloody urine. If you experience any of these at all, go see a doctor right away. Got it?
Got it. Oh, how much do I owe you? I'll be sure to pay.
Of course you will. You're a noble. Make it a principle to always take money from those who have plenty of it.
After finishing the examination, he went out for a smoke. I mean, you gotta, he's not like, don't worry about it. He's like, don't worry, you got money. You're like, I'll pay you. And he's like, oh, I know, that's cool. I'm gonna take money. You got plenty of it, girl. I ain't not worried about it. It's kind of nice of him. I mean, not nice, but you know what I mean? It's kind of funny. He's like, I don't take payment from the poor people here because, they don't have the money. So, whatever. But you got the money. You can fucking pay. Fair enough. You gotta love his honesty. After finishing the examination, he went out for a smoke. As soon as I straightened out my appearance and left the room, Suyakusa hurriedly ran over to me. Yashiro and Tabari followed closely behind.
Spacey, are you okay?
Yep, I'm totally fine.
I'm sorry, milady. I wasn't able to protect you.
Look at his little sad face. Oh, it's okay, babes.
It's my fault. If we had followed Tabari's suggestion instead, Spacey would have gone to the labor camp. And she never would have been targeted.
No, I'm the one to blame here.
Tabari quietly denied Suyakusa's claim. Oh, my boy's taking the blame. It's okay. You can all make it up to me later.
I should have tried harder to convince you to trust me, no matter what it took.
His green eyes were downcast. He spoke quietly in an attempt to suppress his swelling anger.
For our sakes, for all our safety, I shouldn't have given up so easily on taking her with me. I'm sorry for getting her hurt and also for putting you all in danger.
Come on, don't put it like that. It makes me look even more pathetic and...
I don't think any of you need to apologize. Everyone was looking down guiltily, so I did my best to speak in the brightest tone I could muster. I'd actually argue that this is all my fault. I mean, if I were stronger, I wouldn't have gotten attacked, and I wouldn't have gotten hurt, right? And the music is janky again. And then it's fine. And then it's janky. And then it's fine. Now all of a sudden it's fine. Alright, we'll just see if it stays fine.
I don't think that's quite it.
Really? Then why are you all using that same logic on yourselves? I innocently cocked my head to the side as I collected myself. Rather than pinpointing who was to blame in all this, there was something else I wanted to say. I'm really glad you guys didn't get hurt. Thank you for coming to save me.
You're welcome. Really, Yashiro, you should really learn to show a little restraint. But she's fine, so all's well that ends well, right? Even if we did have a close call there.
Tabari let out a small sigh and gave us a faint smile. The atmosphere was noticeably lighter, and I was happy to see his reaction, even if it was small. Look at him smiling. That's him beaming. The men were worried about my injury and told me to retire to bed early. But despite it being late into the night, I had trouble falling asleep. I can't stop remembering that moment. Specifically, the moment I got hurt. As a noble, I didn't want anyone to see how terrified I was, and I put on a brave front. But now that I was alone, my fear and anxiety returned in full force. I thought I could hear faint voices outside and pulled myself out of bed. Is someone still awake? I peeked outside my room to see Dr. Shohaku with a stiff expression on his face, holding Tabari's arm and getting ready to give him an injection. Interesting. Ooh, now we're in Tabari, Chapter 4. A wilted flower.
I told you to come see me regularly, didn't I? Put it off for too long this time. I get you're a busy fellow, but try being in my shoes. I won't put it off next time. We'll see if you actually mean that. Sheesh.
Dr. Shohaku shook his head in exasperation as he stood up and left the room. that was really janky. The rolling screen was like, Jesus. I'm gonna just like stop and restart and see if it like gets a little better because it's fine and then it's like a little janky. I don't know. And I mean, not just from this game. Why do I feel like, okay, I'm gonna crank it for a hot second, okay? For you guys. I don't know if that's like really cranking it. Okay, hold on. It's very loud now. Does this not sound familiar? Where is this from? I swear to God, they've used this in a different game. Like, wait till it like pops back in. Because I'm listening to this and I'm like, this is so familiar. And I don't think it's from playing this game. I feel like we played another game and this music was in it. Like, here. Isn't it so familiar? Am I crazy? Like, why is it so familiar? And it can't just be, I've heard it in the background of this game. Because maybe, but I just feel like it's been in some other game. Like, do they just like reuse music tracks? Because there is just some weird fucking, like, I have heard this in the background of a different game. This is not the, like, it's fucking weird. Like, it's really cool. I kind of like want a soundtrack for the. Did this one come with one? I don't think so. I don't think I got like a special edition or anything. But like, damn. You never know. Like the Pio Fiore one, I love the soundtrack on that so much. I'm so mad I didn't get a special edition for the first game. And it's like, man, is this like the same music from that? Like, it's got like. It's so familiar, guys. What is it from? Somebody tell me. You know what? We're gonna get like a copyright slap in the face probably for that because of it'll be like, no, you can't have the music that loud. But it's just so fucking familiar and I can't figure out what it's from. But like, anyway.
Hey, my lady, getting a glass of water?
He must have noticed me peering into the room, just peeping through the cracks. Tamari addressed me directly after the doctor had left the room. Oh, I just couldn't fall asleep. What about you? Are you hurt, Tamari?
Nope, that was a nutrient injection just now. Being the head of the entertainment district, I have to run around putting out fires day and night. So I forget to eat and sleep sometimes, which is why I come to him for a checkup every now and then.
I see.
You should hurry to bed. Even if you end up not falling asleep, lying down and closing your eyes still counts as rest. With how tough you are, don't tell me you're too scared to sleep.
I'm not. I found myself reacting defensively to his teasing. It's really cold here, that's all. I mean, you could be like, maybe a little bit. I was almost kidnapped and trafficked. I mean, can you blame me? He stifled his laughter and attempted to keep a straight face.
I'll be right back.
He's bringing me a blanket. A few minutes later, he returned with a portable brazier in hand. Oh, a little heater. A small heater meant to warm one's hands and feet. There is a metal pan inside for burning coal or wood. The faint reddish glow of the charcoal reminded me of the sky at sunset. Thanks. I thanked him as best I could without trying to sound too awkward. Well, it came out a little awkward. Thanks. We both were silent for a moment until Tobari kindly started to make small talk.
Thanks to the pipe underground, Itehari's still pretty warm, even on windy days, isn't it?
It's true. Itehari's energy source was a steam engine, and the pipes that connected to it extended throughout the entire city. It was thanks to them that we were able to experience moderate temperatures despite the high elevation.
I guess it's because how the pipes are laid out, but the Abyss doesn't have that luxury. Must be hard on you with this being your first time leaving Itehari. I should have taken note of that sooner. If there's anything else bothering you, just let me know.
I found myself looking down at the brazier and slowly put my hands up to it. The It's funny that it's cold here. I mean, I guess because you don't have the sun to keep you warm here, but it's kind of funnier that, like, with all the steam and the pipes and the engines and whatever and the machinery, that it's not hot as fuck here. You know what I mean? I'm surprised, you know? But I guess also the pipes and things to keep Itehari running are not kept in the abyss or whatever. They'd be in a layer under the abyss because if you, so like, maybe that's where the labor camps are. They go underneath and then, you know, and then they make you leave or whatever. Because, like, if you think about it, people are just living with the machinery that keeps Itehari, like, running smoothly. And you put me down here because my great-great-grandfather committed some crime or just looked at a noble wrong, some bullshit. And you don't think I'm going to be taking a hammer to this shit and fucking up your day? Because, like, I'll be fucking up your day. You know what I mean? Like, if you were just sitting there and the electrical pipe that's running to the White House is right in your house, you'd be like, where's my shovel? We got a hammer right around here. You know what I mean? You'd risk it for the biscuit. You fucking do it. You'd be like, fuck that shit. You know? So I'm just saying. I don't think that if also, but like, it's still weird that, like, but I guess it's because, I don't know where they keep it. But, like, yeah. So my original thought process is like, this is where all the pipes and things are. But, like, yeah, it would be really bad to be putting your infrastructure in the hands of the people that you chuck down here just for looking at you wrong. Because you think they're going to be like, oh no, I got put in the abyss because I looked at Yuri wrong. I'd be like, I'm about to fuck up his shit. And, yeah. You know, so better not put that in the hands of the people that you trample on. Just saying. So, fair enough. But, anyway. The heat gradually spread across my palms.
It would have been fine in the summer, but it's autumn now. That means winter's right around the corner.
Oh? Can you experience the 4 seasons down here in the abyss? The 4 seasons were something that only occurred on the surface of the outside world. This was a known fact, but it certainly wasn't something one could experience in Itehari, as it maintained the same temperature all year round. I feel like that would get... Okay, I don't want to say, like, boring, because, like, fuck winter and all, and, like, fuck super fucking summer. Like, fall and spring, so, like, yeah, okay. But, like, you want it to be, like, but there's a range where you're like, ooh, it's a little warm. It's like, ooh, it's 80 degrees, but there's a nice breeze. And, like, okay, we can go, you can't go to the beach because they ain't got no water here. But you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be, like, you want to be able to wear your summer clothes, but not be dripping sweat, like, in 100-degree weather with the sun baking down on you. Okay, you want to be like, ooh, it's 80 degrees. Like, ooh, it's a little warm, but, oh, there's a nice breeze and it's comfortable. Okay. And, like, 80s would be, like, the warmest. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, you're like, ooh, it's a little warm today. Like, 70s would be perfect. But, like, you know, 80s could be, like, the hottest it gets. You don't want it getting, like, hot. Like, 85, 86. You know, that's it. Stop. Stop there. Okay? And then, like, you want to be, like, maybe the 40s is, like, the coldest it's going to get. So ain't nothing freezing, but you're like, oh, it's chilly. I could wear a jacket. You know what I mean? Maybe March 27th. All you need is a light jacket. Is it May 27th or is it March 20th? I can't remember. And the music's janky again. Of course it fucking is. Jesus Christ, fuck my life. It's gonna be one of those motherfucking days where this is like, and I have to edit like 42 parts together. But you know what? I seriously, and the music still and give me that weird, I just freaking weird me out, guys. But anyway. Anyway, not having any kind of seasons is just weird, but anyway, like, you know, but you want, like, tighter than it's 110 degrees and now it's 20, not that range, that's too much, tighten it up a little, sure, you know, I didn't mean to do that, I was trying to, like, itch my face and I smashed I only have one hand, you know how it goes here, anyway, yada yada. Yeah, the climate here is closer to that of the surface than Itehari. Oh, wow. You seem happy to hear that, milady. When Dobari pointed it out, I returned to my senses and felt a little embarrassed. Could you keep it a secret from everyone else that I'm excited about the 4 seasons? Discussing the surface was highly frowned upon in Itehari. All that was discussed about the surface was negative, their conflicts, their troubles, and how it was a terrible place to live. Itehari doesn't sound great. I mean, weather-wise, sure, I'd take it over, like, harsh winters and brutal summers, but, I mean, you look at a noble wrong and you're ending up here, so, like, I don't know. You know, it's a little fucked up there. Unless you're rich, then it's fine. But again, that ain't making it better, because most of us ain't gonna be rich. That was what I had been taught ever since I was a child. Tabari's silence and stiff expression made me feel a little anxious. I feel like all I do is cause you trouble. I'm sorry.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
It's true, isn't it? First I stalked you all over the entertainment district, then I came here to the Abyss despite your wishes, and I even got kidnapped. Fair enough, fair assessment. I must be a real thorn in your side.
I'm sure I'd find your name under the word nuisance in the dictionary.
Despite already suspecting that about myself, hearing him agree with it so readily kind of stung.
I'm joking. It was kind of annoying when you kept bugging me about the fire, but I can't blame you for doing it. I'm sure you'd have trouble sleeping at night if you left it alone.
I'm sure you'd have trouble sleeping at night if you left it alone. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Also, like I said before, it was my fault you were kidnapped. That's the end of it. No more apologizing.
He didn't even wait for me to respond before changing the subject.
So what did you mean about coming down here against my wishes? Why'd you say it like that?
You weren't entirely on board with it, were you? I figured you didn't want to work with us, and...
Well, that's because the conditions down here would be tough for you to handle. I was just confused as to why you go out of your way and figured it'd be better for you to wait in Itehari since I'd find the evidence and take care of everything.
In other words, were you worried about me, Tabari?
He's like, the audacity. Catch me. My bad.
Huh? Why are you apologizing?
I mean, it's my fault that you got the wrong idea to begin with. I scared you because of my attitude and the fact that I'm careless with my wording.
Tabari...
But I don't want you getting attached or anything. In fact, wouldn't it be better to distance yourself? Oh, wouldn't it be better to distance myself from you more?
Look at him, he looks a little sad about it. Look at his little sad face. He spoke with a frown, to which I responded with, I love you. You're very kind. I thought you hated me. I feel like it's you're very kind. Like, you're so sweet. But, like, also, like, I thought you hated me. They're actually both kind of good and kind of lead to the right. Like, I thought you hated me. He's like, what? No, I love you. I mean, what? And then you're like, you're so cute is also fun. I don't know. They could both work. Oh, we're in chapter 4. I was like, wait. Oh, it's I thought you hated me. Okay, interesting. I thought you hated me.
No, nothing like that. You haven't done anything to upset me that much, have you? You probably feel that way because of how I talk. I can start being more polite with you if you wish.
No need to change how you speak. All that matters is that you don't dislike me. All that matters is that you love me.
He's like, I didn't say that.
You're like, you do. But what did you mean by not wanting me to get attached? When I brought it up, Tabari gave me a small smile. His bewitching green eyes narrowed suggestively, increasing his allure tenfold.
I love that. She's like, what do you mean not getting attached? And he's just like, and she's like, now all of a sudden I'm totally into him. And I'm like, oh, see, I was fine before. And then you just gave me that look and fuck, now I'm screwed. People have a tendency to carry a torch for me. Be a pain if things went that far, right?
Oh. Carry a torch? To be in unrequited love with someone, often secretly or for a long period of time.
Sweetie, I'm gonna carry a whole goddamn sun for you. We can't have an innocent lady like you be led astray. Guys like me understand not to do that at the very least.
This part of him is seriously the most dangerous.
Hey, I'm just kidding.
You were kidding? A disgruntled look briefly appeared on his face upon seeing my reaction, but he quickly gathered himself and returned to the topic at hand.
Anyway, I'm not mad and I don't hate you, so you can talk about whatever you want, my lady. And that includes the surface. I'm not one to snitch on people.
You're a little strange. That's like the nicest compliment you can. You're a little strange. Yeah, thanks. It's nice of you to notice. His way of thinking didn't seem to be bound by Itehari's norms. For one, I really want to go to the outside world. In Itehari, where my wish was something that should be condemned, here Tobari was, saying that he wouldn't do that.
There's nothing in the Itehari laws that forbids us from going to the outside world, so it's actually stupid to criticize your feelings. Flowers bloom in the spring and frost falls in the winter. Even if those things don't happen here, it doesn't change the fact that they do in other places.
I suppose. Despite what Tobari was saying, I felt a pang of guilt, telling me this was all very wrong. Especially because she's like, we can't talk about the outside world. He's like, it's not illegal to go there. But it's wrong to talk about going there? I'm just saying, do you see how fucked up this cult is? Because that was just common sense in Itehari, and it was all I knew.
Itehari conducts trade with the surface, right?
Right. Itehari officially belonged to the country known as Toei, despite being recognized as an independent entity. It was common knowledge that we heavily relied on Toei and other countries for trade, especially for food. I mean, otherwise we'd literally all die. Because, like, you can't grow shit here, and there are no fields.
And yet we're not supposed to talk about the surface since the status quo might be upheld. Must be upheld. Just doesn't make sense.
I agree. I couldn't help but blurt it out. Considering my status in society, I knew all too well that I shouldn't be saying these things. I just couldn't stop my thoughts and feelings from spilling forth. I've always thought it strange ever since I was a little girl. Why is it so wrong to want to know more about the surface or to want to visit?
Lady, how much do you know about the surface?
Well, I know that there have been constant wars since ancient times, and that many lives have been lost to flooding, especially in Toei. It isn't exactly the most ideal environment for people to live happy lives, but since there's a lot of water and soil, it's great for plants. I've read in books that it has meadows that stretch as far as the eye can see, and fields of flowers, too.
Books, huh? Do they happen to be banned literature?
Banned literature. Itehari's banned books are decided by the Ryue for the purpose of censorship. Just saying, cult. They include records of the surface, especially those that painted in a favorable light. Yes. Can you keep that a secret?
Then you better keep one for me, too. About the fact that I'm the leader of the Shiranui?
Of course. Oh, by the way, you've been to the Abyss several times, right? Have you ever been to the Gate? There's a lot of glossary in this one. The Gate! A trading post at the bottom of the Abyss. It's the only place that connects Itehari to the surface. The Gate of the Abyss was the only place that connected Itehari to the surface. I don't know why we needed a glossary section if you were just going to tell us the exact same thing in the next slide. That was as far as our trading partners from the surface could go.
Yeah, you can definitely experience more of the surface there than you would here. It snowed there in the winter before.
How lovely! I'd love to go there one day. Tomorrow, if it's okay with you, could you take me? Please?
Whenever I feel up for it.
His words were cold, but I only felt kindness in his tone. Is it because we're talking about the surface, or... For some reason I couldn't place, I felt my heart racing. My heart seems to beat faster when I talk to you. I wonder why that is. I like how she just says the inside thoughts out loud.
No need to get all worked up over something like this. I'd be happy to hear you out on whatever you need someone to talk to.
Because he's thinking we're talking about the surface, and we're like, no, I'm talking. My heart beats so fast whenever I talk to you. He's like, you know, gets up worked up about going to the surface, and you're like, no, it's because I'm lighting a torch for you. One that burns brighter than 1,000 suns. You just gotta be a little melodramatic. Really?
Again, whenever I feel up for it. Anyway, we have a busy day tomorrow, so get some sleep. Take the brazier with you so you don't get cold.
You're right. I'm okay without it, though. Thanks. Tabari frowned when I turned down his offer. This would be when I'd wondered if he was upset, but now I knew better. He's probably wondering why I'm so reluctant to take it. In that moment, A piece of charcoal burst, sending sparks flying. Oh, that surprised me. I tried laughing it off, but Tabari stayed silent with a grim expression on his face. He then began to speak as if he had come to a realization about something. You really don't like fire, do you? I mean, that's true. Our house burned down when we were little, so. I stiffened and gulped. I might as well have just told him that he was right. Looking back, you were also acting a little strange the night your surf quarter had that fire. Oh, I suppose I was. All I could offer were vague words of agreement. I mean, okay. Unless you're a pyromaniac who's like, yeah, I love fire, it's awesome. It's dangerous, okay? It's healthy to be wary of fire. We've had this conversation before. I mean, it's nice to be like, oh, a nice little fire in the fireplace, use fire in a gas stove for cooking. Sure, but like, you gotta be wary of this shit, okay? It's okay to be wary of giant fires and like sparks that could start fires. Healthy dose of just eyes on the prize here. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. It's totally fine. Good. You're acting like I'm afraid of a cat or something. Or, a feather on the ground that I think a feather's going to attack me. Like, fire is dangerous. A feather, not so much. Unless it's attached to the body of a bird. Because then they could hurt you. Birds are bitey. As I pet the one that's snuggled up against my hand. But you know what I mean? Like, I understand people afraid of birds. You could be, I guess, afraid of a cat, but like, I'd rather be, but like, not giant jungle cats. I mean, like a normal, tiny little pussy cat. Like, there's less to be afraid of with that than there is a fire, but you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Just saying. Don't judge me. Anyway, going to sleep. Thanks for keeping me company, even though it's so late. I hurriedly thanked him and ran out of the room. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know what happened, so. The next morning, this music sounds familiar too. Could very well just be because I've heard it in the background for so long that we've been playing, even though I haven't been conscious of it, that I'm just like, but it's just really bizarre. We sat around a spread of food Tabari prepared for us. Our breakfast consisted of rice balls with mixed grains and sweet bonito flakes, pickled radishes, and strong tea.
Come to think of it, where's Dr. Shohaku? We haven't seen him all morning.
Tabari made us breakfast. I'm just saying the man is hot and can cook. I bet he's getting ready to head out. He has house calls today, so he's probably packing medicine and whatever else he needs. More importantly, before we talk about our plans for the day, I want to discuss what we found yesterday, since last night wasn't exactly the best time to do it. And also remember, Aoyuki can't cook. He's bad at it. He's our attendant, and he's bad at it. So, okay, wait. We have a man that can do my hair, okay, and, like, run my household, and, like, do all that kind of stuff that I don't want to do. Sure. And then we have the hot man who can cook in Tabari. We got Suyakusa who can, like, fix shit that's broken. Yashiro can... Right now... Well, we know he can fight and protect us. That's good. And Yuri is just there to be the moneybags and a sarcastic bitch. I'm just saying, this is like a very well-rounded man harem. I'm just saying. I like this. This is... Okay. All right. I'm just... Anyway, that's true. Let's see. It definitely seems like there's someone out there buying up all the clocks here in the Abyss. I also told him that the person in question seemed to be acquainted with the junk shop owners, and that this person would kill them if they betrayed the name of their buyer. Sounds like Oboro. What did you two find? We took a quick look at the labor camp. The security is pretty airtight, so it would be impossible to sneak in without anyone noticing. So we got in touch with a more accommodating guard through Tabari's connections, and we plan to meet with him today. So I guess you and Tabari will be heading to the labor camp again today. In that case, Yashiro and I will... No. Suyakusa interrupted me as he lightly shook his head. Spacey, you and Tabari should go see him. Yay, I get to go with Tabari. After we finalized our plans for the day, we got ready to leave. Meanwhile, Tabari seemed to have something to discuss with Dr. Shohaku, and they were still talking. Suyakusa, you mentioned earlier that Tabari and I should go see the guard, but
Yeah, there's no doubt that having you stick with him is the safest option.
Suyakusa awkwardly looked down before continuing.
You remember how I didn't trust Tobari?
I do.
Well, yesterday when you were kidnapped, Tobari went into full panic mode. So much so that seeing him actually calmed me down.
Oh, because he doesn't want. He's so sweet. Look at him. He's so gruff and angry, but he's such a cute little marshmallow, isn't he?
And then we ended up going around to different thief hideouts in the area.
We found you in the second place we checked. We got really lucky.
Is that so? I didn't think Tobari would be so worried.
Yeah, but seeing that made me realize how ridiculous it was for me to doubt him. And despite how he seems, he's not all that calculating. In fact, I feel like he's someone who just can't abandon people regardless of whether he gains anything or not.
This probably wasn't the first time he's disguised his true feelings by appearing calm and aloof.
You might be right.
We considered the possibility he was putting on an act to get us to trust him, but that was a really sloppy attempt if it was. One thing that stood out to me was the fact that those thieves planned to kidnap you, milady.
Well, I'm not nearly as strong, so maybe I was just the easier target out of the two of us.
Not to mention cute, too.
I guess? I didn't know how to react to his casual comment, so I just nodded awkwardly in response. Oh, but you're cute too. But I mean, I guess if Obero's not into dudes, he's not going to kidnap you, so it makes sense.
He should have been the one to get upset with me, but he was really apologetic. It makes me think that eventually someone's going to use and hurt him one day.
Oh, no, we would never do that to my precious marshmallow. We're going to take him into our man harem and we're going to take care of him forever. Again, I'm going to hold a torch for him that is powered by 1,000 suns. Or burns brightly, whatever, same difference. So Yakuza gave a bitter smile and uttered his next words with a sigh.
Which is why I think it'd be okay to trust him.
The door opened just as he finished speaking.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
No worries, we were just talking. We split up outside of the clinic. Suyakusa and Yashiro would go to the junk shops, while Tobari and I would head for the labor camp. The guard they made plans to meet with was waiting for us nearby.
Yeah, that happened. There was a
who that wanted to enter the labor camp?
There was a who that wanted to enter the labor camp, so I let him in.
That's what it says. There was a who that wanted... So... Now the Who's are coming out of Whoville and getting all up in my abyss? The fuck? Go back to Whoville! You don't belong in this game! This is not the kind of stream we want to cross. That's weird. Because the Who's from Whoville are a little creepy. I don't want them in my game.
He was a weirdo who was asking me to take him somewhere with a lot of gas.
Was it really okay to let a stranger in so easily?
Well, not usually, but I can be flexible depending on the circumstances.
Like the money? What exactly are these circumstances you speak of?
You guys know about the onyx incense?
I've heard things about it, like how it's newly popular in Itehari's entertainment district.
Those fellas up in Itehari sure have it good, going out of their way to order something like that from Ginwan purely for their entertainment.
That sounds like rich people shit. Ginwan is the capital of Toei, where Yashiro's from. See, and then we're getting these things, like, again, I feel like if you did Tobari's route first, you're getting a lot of the glossary terms, okay, and then you have no idea that Yashiro is from the surface. You have no clue. But I also feel like, again, it didn't need to be explained in Aoyuki's route. You know? So...
What do you mean? Did you want to know about the Did you not know the onyx incense comes from Ginwan? The stuff that that ends up in the abyss are just the leftovers. There's a group by the gate that pockets the stuff and sells a knockoff version of the incense with some other stuff mixed into it. But the guy that came to me offered me the real deal in exchange for my help. He's probably being backed by a noble who's involved with the trade.
Yuri, what the fuck?
No!
It better not be my beautiful peacock. I'm just saying, if you're not gonna let me date the man, he's probably sus. Suwabuki absolutely is probably the most wholesome, wonderful, perfect thing in existence. So I doubt he's involved in anything nefarious, okay? He is our wholesome little sunbeam, okay? Sad as he is, he just looks a little sad. But you know what I mean? I mean, Yori is your brother, so like, of course you're gonna be fucking miserable. Like, but Karatachi, you better not. Don't. I'll forgive you. Literally, you could do anything and I'd forgive you for it. It's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Hmm. And isn't the onyx incense what might be causing the berserkers? So that's interesting too. So there weren't very many families in Itehari that worked in trade. If what we were hearing was true, it could be a major hint as to who the culprit was.
And why are you telling us this when we've offered you nothing in return? Takes a snake to know a snake, huh? I don't plan on sticking my nose into your business. But this is pretty exciting stuff to me. Can't wait to see how the fellas up in Itahari lose their minds because of the intel I gave you.
He said so with an evil grin. I was at a loss as to how to respond to his ill intentions. I mean, to be fair, he's like, I'm stuck down here. It's not even like, this is my, like, I'm just here for a couple of days and then I gotta go back up on the surface and this is a job. This is like, you're stuck down here. You know what I mean? So, like, how do they get the Abyss guards at the labor camps? You know what I mean? Like, do they hire people who live in the Abyss? So you're like, well, the best I can hope for as somebody whose great grandfather was thrown in here for looking at a noble wrong. Look, I'm just saying, because there might be real crimes that people committed, but you're probably like descended from the one guy who just accidentally stepped on a noble's foot and didn't apologize properly. You know what I mean? Are they like, oh, okay, well, the best that you can hope for is to get hired and work as a guard in the labor camp for the real criminals? And that's why because I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be like, yeah, fuck Itahari. Because you'd be like, nah, I live there and I just work down here. So you have to be a resident of the Abyss to be working there and be like, fuck those cocks. You know what I mean? Because like that seems to be the sentiment this guy has. He's like, fuck those guys. So it doesn't seem like he's a resident of Itahari that's just here working for a couple days on, couple days off or whatever. You know? And this wouldn't be a job that you got that people forced you to do, because you'd be like, fuck you, how are you going to enforce me doing this job? You'd have willingly taken this job, and so you had to have been a resident. So makes sense why he's like, fuck the surface dwellers. We ended our discussion with the guard, and we're on our way back to the clinic. Tabari must have sensed my unease and suddenly began to strike up a conversation.
I'm sure you already know this, milady, but the job of a guard at the labor camp's passed down through noble lineage. And they still have their pride as people in noble birth, so it's not surprising they'd be unhappy living here.
Okay, so that's not what I was expecting, but then how does that work, though? Well, okay, they're of noble lineage, so they're not just any old, but they're residents of down here. They're not. So is it one of those, like, okay, Yuri and Suwabuki have a third brother who's just kind of a failure, so the family's like, just send him to work in the labor camp. Well, not but to be a guard in the labor camp, and you're like the black sheep of your family, where you're like, well, they're still a noble, but they suck, and we can't just. So instead of just tolerating their bullshit, they're like, make him a guard in the labor camp. We get rid of our black sheep. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? So like, God, you look at a noble wrong, you end up down here. You are a noble, and your family just doesn't like the cut of your jive. They're going to throw you down here too. Like, I'm just, what the fuck? Okay.
There's a clear difference between them and the others of their standing, leading to an inferiority complex.
That makes sense. All the people who have been forced into this dark place were more or less guaranteed to suffer in some way. You sure know a lot about the Abyss, Tabari. After a short pause, Tabari dropped a bomb in his usual nonchalant manner.
That's because I was born here.
When she said he dropped a bomb, I was waiting for it. So, I gasped at his confession. I mean, what? I wasn't expecting that before until she said that's when he dropped a bomb. And then you kind of were like, oh, okay. The head of the entertainment district was born in the abyss? Should I ask him more? I I want to learn more. We want to know more about Tobari, but like, is it rude to ask him more? But I feel like we want to know more. We want to like be like, well, you can tell me if you want to, type of a thing. Yeah. Okay. If you don't mind, I hope you can tell me more. I want to learn more about you. See, she phrased it exactly like I was expecting. Okay. I nervously made my request, to which Tobari nodded and responded without any pretense. It isn't exactly a fun story, but my mother was originally from the Abyss. She worked as a companion in the entertainment district and became pregnant with a client's child. I'm sorry. So your mom was from the Abyss. She worked in the entertainment district and got knocked up by it. Joe, you could have a noble father, most likely. Is it mine? Or we have siblings? We kept talking about how Aoyuki looked like us, and I was like, is he my brother? Is he my brother and you're my half-brother? And Yashiro's my cousin from another aunt or uncle, mother, brother, somebody? Suyakusa's just related to Hiragi. That's fine. I mean, Itehari can't have a lot of bloodlines after how long that we've been living up here. I'm just saying. Like, you nobles keep marrying each other. How long have we been living here? It's pretty wreathy up here, you know what I'm saying? This is like a shrubbery, not a family tree. You look shocked, though I do understand why you would be. I mean, people of all different standings can't have a child together. It's against the law. Oh, people of different standings can't have a child together. It's against the law. I don't think biology gives a fuck about your laws. Societal law, pervades every aspect of life in Itehari, among which the most important is that marriage and love between a noble and a commoner are strictly forbidden, which we kind of know about with Aoyuki's route. They wouldn't let us marry him, and we're going to change that shit. But, like, people of different standings can't have a child together. It's against the law. Again, that's girl. Unfortunately, it can still happen whether the couple wants it or not. So when companions are with child, they're given two options. Get rid of the child or be banished to the abyss. Tobari spoke calmly as if we were engaging in mere small talk. Okay, so you don't have birth control in Itehari, but you got abortions? I mean, throughout history, there were people trying different ways to be rid of children. So, like, you know, teas and things and drugs, pushing people downstairs, whatever. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, those were never very effective. I mean, I guess there probably were but not without damaging yourself. But I guess if that's your option, you're willing to take that risk. Because you're like, take this tea and risk killing myself along with this unwanted child, or have this kid I don't want. Well, risk it for the biscuit. I mean, I guess. But like, maybe y'all should have invented birth control. Maybe you should call up the surface and be like, y'all got condoms you can send up here? I'm just saying something. Instead of that. But like, also, humanity is fucking dumb, so fair enough. Anyway. Tobari spoke calmly as if we were engaging in some mere small talk. He must have been doing so intentionally so as not to make me uncomfortable. My mother chose the latter, obviously. And that's why you were born here. Exactly. My father may be some rich guy in Itehari. Oh my god, I would love to find out that Yori is your brother. But my mother was a descendant of an offender. She comes from a lineage of someone who committed a sin and was banished here because of it. And that makes me something that can't even be considered human in the eyes of those in Itehari. That explains why Yori hates you so much. His voice was calm, without even a hint of self-pity. I also like how our first two... Like, yes, we're gonna date Yori, who is probably the only proper choice for us in regards to the law. Not personality. because he's a dumpster fire. Look, we love him. Don't get me wrong. I love him. He's a dumpster fire, okay? No denying that. So, but I like the fact that the first two routes are like, absolutely cannot. You cannot date your attendant. He's just common trash. And then the other one is like, oh my God, he's worse than common trash because he's common trash that's descended from even more trash. He's the trash of the trash. Commoners are trash, but like, holy shit, he's lower than trash. He's trash as trash in the eyes of society here. So it's like, damn girl, she's slumming it. And I love it. Like, you know what I mean? Because the more you see this, the more you're like, the rules in this place are fucking stupid. Stupid. Like, fuck y'all, this is stupid. But there were laws like this. So. Apparently, even after giving birth to me, my mother continued working as an unlicensed escort in the abyss. She became pregnant again for someone else and died shortly after my sister was born. Oh, is Suzune your actual sister? What happened to you and your sister after that? The abyss isn't nearly as kind to orphans as in Itehari. I think I was around 5 at that time. So I didn't have the means or the wisdom to raise a newborn. I couldn't even begin to picture how terrifying and difficult that must have been. Aww, our poor precious little marshmallow. You were like a little baby orphan. It's so sad. Just thinking about what he went through made my chest tighten with an indescribable pain. But before we could die on the streets, Shioji took us under his wing and saved us. How old was Shioji? Because he doesn't seem that much older than you. Did he really? Come to think of it, how old is Shioji anyway? I'm glad she asked, because I'm curious. He was 12 or 13 at the time, I think. So he'll be 28 this year. That's so cute. He's like a 12-year-old taking in a 5-year-old and a baby. Please don't let him be evil. Please don't let him be the one like starting all the fires and being an asshole because it's too wholesome. He's too adorable. Stop it. Oh, baby. What? That makes him older than Aoyuki. The fact that the man's up, she's like, oh my God, he's ancient because he's almost 30. Yeah, his looks are definitely deceiving. He's always told that he looks younger than he actually is. That also means if you were 5 at the time, and that was 16 years ago, you're 21 now? I mean, prestigious man running the whole entertainment district at only 21. Aren't you too mature for a 21-year-old? You're so level-headed that just as I said those words, I recalled my conversation with Yashiro and Suyakusa from earlier that day about how he might actually be the opposite of his calm exterior. Oh, well that makes sense. What? A second ago you were all shocked, but now you seem completely fine. Sorry for looking old. Oh, we heard him. Look at his sad face. Look at his face. Stop it. You better hug him. That's not it at all. Damari sulked for a moment, then grinned mischievously when he saw me get flustered. Well, a baby face doesn't command as much respect, so it's a good thing I look older. So you're intentionally not acting your age? Knowing that there's only a 3-year age difference between us, I actually feel a little closer to you now. What do you mean? 3 years isn't a small amount. I'm a lot more mature than you. I just thought you were a lot older. That's why I'm saying that we're surprisingly close in age. To be fair to him, he is a lot more mature than we are, because he's had a lot more reason to have to be mature and grow up faster, and he's running the entertainment district, and we only took over running our own household like yesterday. So you know what I mean? Yeah, whatever you say. We've gone way off track, so shall we move on, or... Okay, I was like, I clicked it several times, but I guess, I don't know, I just didn't move. If you're okay with it, I'd like to learn more. He gave a wry smile at my request, but kindly granted my wish and continued, we're over time, but... We were malnourished, so Shioji carried us to Dr. Shohaku's clinic.
He was also the one who took us to Itehari for the first time. We helped him with some odd jobs, and we were compensated for them in return.
What kind of work did you do?
I'd sell bladder cherries I picked in the fields to the escorts of the entertainment district, stuff like that.
Oh, there are fields in the abyss?
Yeah, there's a spot with a ton of soil on the outskirts, though there isn't much that can be grown there considering there isn't enough sunlight or nutrients.
There was so much I didn't know, and listening to Tobari made me want to learn more. Okay, good. Perfect timing. So, like, we now have transitioned, so we'll finish up and, like, listening, but, like, he hasn't told us, but I'm pretty sure Suzune's probably his actual fucking sister. Like, because he never mentioned anything. It's like, I can care up for a newborn, and then we're like, okay. And then he's like, and we never said anything about our sister going missing or dying or somebody else took her or something. So it's probably Suzune because all three of them were acting very, like, sibling-y. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.